So the final race of the weekend for the Formula Cup is about to get underway. Race 3 of 3. And we, of course, are racing at Magny-Cours this weekend for the penultimate round of the championship. And these 15 drivers are getting ready to head out on track for the last time this weekend. And of course, the championship battle is really starting to heat up now. Enzo Richer has won the first 2 races quite successfully and quite commanding as well from the championship leader, Enzo Richer, car number 66. And once again, he will start from pole position for the final race of the weekend. Only just been out for these guys. As you can see, the rain is starting to really come down. The race that they've just had happened about an hour ago, so they've only just been out on track, so it's quite a quick turnaround. And they were out on track on the wrong tyres because the rain came down with about 3 minutes left to go. But now they are far more prepared. As you can see, umbrellas are up and coats are on and hoods are up as well, and it will be declared a wet weather start to this race. So all the cars should be on wet weather tyres, obviously with the big tread in the tyre, which is what you need for this sort of weather. And actually the rain had sort of eased a little before this, but now it is significantly quite wet again. So cars just making their way out of the pit lane and onto the circuit. And then they will head round to the grid, obviously, and line up in their grid positions. Enzo Richer leading the way from Dylan Estra in second, and then Lopez Nano will line up third. That is Artur Agator and Dylan Estra. And I've mentioned Dylan Estra quite a lot this weekend in the car number 23 there, just taking over Artur Agator. That one, car number 24, is Artur Agator, but Dylan Estra is on debut this weekend, and so far has been on the podium both times of asking. In race 1, he finished third. And in race 2, despite getting a drive-through penalty, race 2, he finished just behind the leader after putting a lot of pressure on Enzo Richer as well throughout the whole race. So Enzo Richer knows that Dylan Estra will put the pressure and apply it once again on him. And this is the shot that we love to hear, because listen to that rain. Umbrellas, all umbrellas are now going up. Oh, quite like that rainbow one. See if I can use that for the grid a bit later, because we've still got more racing to come, of course, as we see a spin there for 69, who is Didier Piard, who is racing the Formula Regional 17-inch, so must have struggled just making his way around. It's his first race weekend with us here at the Ultimate Formula Cup. And if you can't tell, we are at the circuit of Magny-Cours. Pit lane is now closed. There's a little replay, I'm guessing, of Didier Piard, just a little pirouette at the famous Adelaide hairpin, which we've seen so many drivers getting caught out by this. And it is pretty wet out there. See if there's any information about starting behind the safety car. Nothing as of yet, just race 3 wet conditions. Even I could have told you that. And this is going to be tricky for these young drivers. A lot of them are starting out their careers, some of them racing elsewhere. Start will be given under the safety car, so that is what race control has told us. I did think with this rain we would start under the safety car, so that is exactly what they've decided to do. Safety always paramount in these races, and of course with the single seaters it is slightly different as well, but I think with any racing cars they would have started under the safety car. So Enzo Richer to the left of your screen, getting an umbrella to keep the cockpit nice and dry, and to his right is Dylan Estra, who's already got his umbrella. And so where are we at in the championship? Well, the championship at the moment belongs to Enzo Richer, who is currently leading by my maths, 35.5 points. Enzo Richer on 254.5, Frederick Wallow on 219, and Soldovini now on 210. But we'll have to double check because points can change and different rules can be set in. But I'm pretty sure as easy as the racing has been, as in quite significantly easy to tally up the points, we should be okay. So rain continues to fall on these cars, and we will be starting behind the safety car. Shortly the grid will get cleared and we will get racing underway. I will be intrigued to see how long we're racing under the behind the safety car. And as you can see, cars, engineers rather, being moved off the track now and being cleared, as it says track evacuation. Quite like the way it says that. So racing will start, of course, behind the safety car. Formula Renault 2.0 will be the first one in line for that is Nano Lopez, but leading the way will be Enzo Richer in the Formula Regional 13 inches. In the rookie class as well, he's leading, and Dylan Estra will be alongside him, second on the grid. And Nano Lopez, like I said, in the Formula Renault 2.0 with Robert Orban Prince behind, Robert Prince rather, get the names the right way round, in the Formula Regional 13, and Artur Agator just behind him, also fighting in the Rookie Cup as well. I'll take you through the grid when the formation lap gets underway. So you'll see Hoosier written there. That will be the new sponsor for next year, 2025. We will have Hoosier Formula Cup in the Ultimate Formula Cup. And yeah, we've got a couple of changes within the whole of the Ultimate Cup Championship. So if you want to know what's going on for 2025, head over to our website or the social media. We're on Instagram and various different social media outlets as well, and you can find out what's happening next year. And if you would like to see where we're racing next year, please head over to the website. Got a new edition of a new track out there as well, which I'm excited about. So do make sure you go and take a look and see where we're racing. So grid is cleared, and formation lap will be getting underway very shortly. Soggy looking marshals out there waiting to put the board up before the formation lap can get underway. Well, with the start under the safety car actually, so the procedure of starting is slightly different, but the safety car will head out first and then the cars will follow. So safety car start underway, the clock starts ticking down, and this is essentially their version of a formation lap, hence me saying actually significantly slightly different under the safety car, because in other racing obviously you would go around behind the safety car for a formation lap. But essentially the race is underway and we are starting under the safety car, so it is Enzo Richer leading the way in car number 66. Obviously no overtaking behind the safety car, you just have to follow the safety car speed, and you can't really do much racing at this point. But as you can see, Enzo Richer just getting a bit of heat into those tyres there, and interesting, Dylan Estra not quite doing the same, and obviously feels more comfortable on those tyres, all on wet weather tyres as you can see. But every driver has a different way of generating heat in the tyres. It's just we're so used to seeing that weaving that single seaters especially do quite often. Walter Reichardt is back out there, then car number 2. After crashing out in the first race. We didn't crash out, he just kind of got stuck in the gravel when the rain started coming down about an hour or so ago, and unfortunately was unable to get himself out of the gravel, and the safety car came out, and we actually ended the race then behind the safety car. So hopefully we will be able to get a few laps of racing in. Obviously the safety car out there with the cars following, and when the safety car lights go out, it means that we're ready to go racing again. But as you can see, safety car lights are still on, and we've only been going around, this is on the first lap so far. So a couple of new drivers to talk about as well in the championship that have joined us just so far for Magny-Cours, but we will find out if they join us for Paul Ricard in a couple of weeks' time at the beginning of November. We've got Alexandra Lima, who is in the gentleman class, and he's raced a lot in America in Lamborghini Super Trofeo, North America, so nice to have him over this side of the pond. Dylan Estra, we've talked about a lot in the rookie class, age 16, competed in French Formula 4. He won only a couple of weeks ago in Dijon, and he did win in Paul Ricard as Enzo Richer just goes a little bit wide there, get a bit deep into the corner. It's significantly wetter out there into the final corner heading onto the start-finish straight. So he won in Dijon, did Dylan Estra, but then he also was awarded a win in Paul Ricard and then promptly had it taken away because the person that won originally got a 5-second time penalty and then had that penalty overturned, which meant that Dylan Estra had to settle for second. So do you notice there one of the cars don't have their rain lights on, and yeah, all cars must turn their rain lights on, so it must have been, I couldn't quite see who it was. Oh, we've got a spin there for Juan Francisco Soldovini. His weekend just goes from bad to worse. He unfortunately was knocked out of the first race by Dylan Estra, who went a bit too hot into turn 5, and the chicane, the hairpin we're looking at now, and unfortunately took off Juan Francisco Soldovini. Here's the replay of how he lost it, and unfortunately just lost it on his own. It's tricky conditions out there for these single-seater cars, no matter if you're in wet weather cars or not. So unfortunately, Juan Francisco Soldovini has to rejoin in 9th place, and unfortunately this weekend has taken a big hit to his championship hopes. He came into this weekend with a 3.5 disadvantage to Enzo Richer, and then unfortunately after the issue in turn 1 at turn 5 with Dylan Estra and Juan Francisco Soldovini, where essentially, like I was saying, Dylan Estra just overshot turn 5 and locked up the front left and nudged the back of Juan Francisco Soldovini and spun him round, and unfortunately after that his race was over. And then in the last race, the rain started coming down a little bit late, and Juan Francisco Soldovini and Team Farage decided to come in for wet weather tyres, and then unfortunately the rest of the race was under the safety car, so he dropped back as well in that one, and then here unfortunately lost it all on his own. So a weekend to forget for Juan Francisco Soldovini. He had one of the best weekends I think he could ever have asked for in Mugello, where he got pole position and 3 wins. But unfortunately, this hasn't quite been the weekend I'm sure that he was after. Safety car is going to come in on this lap, so we are going to go racing here at Magny-Cours for the final race of the Ultimate Formula Cup, and it's Enzo Richer, the championship leader, who is going to back up the pack and get everyone ready for this restart. So around the final few corners, and Dylan Estra is very close to the back of that car, and we will go racing again. So around the chicane and onto the start-finish straight, and we are racing in Magny-Cours, and Enzo Richer throwing up a load of spray into Dylan Estra's path there, and Dylan Estra was a bit twitchy on the start as well. So he's dropped back a little bit from Enzo Riche. Oh, and Enzo Riche's gone a little bit wide, and so has Dylan Estra. And so that could really give Nano Lopez second place here, because in that first corner, they all went a little bit wide at the front. So slippery tracks out there. Enzo Riche going wide and Dylan Estra going wide. And you can see here, side by side, that's Dylan Estra versus Lano Lopez. That's a Formula Renault 2.0 versus a Formula Regional 13. And he can do it there into turn 5 at the hairpin rather. And it looks like he has done it. Can't quite see because of the spray, but it looks like Lano Lopez has managed to get past Dylan Estra. No, they're still side by side. And then we see, oh, it's so tricky, those conditions out there. That spray is making the cars ever so twitchy out there. And it does look like Lano Lopez managed to get past Dylan Estra there. And Dylan Estra is not looking quite as confident as we have seen him in the rain. And it's tricky with this amount of spray that you're getting from the car in front of you. And it looks like Enzo Riche is just tiptoeing around this track. He's already made a mistake at the beginning of the lap before. And you can't afford to make many mistakes here. Oh, you can see there that Nano Lopez is just fighting with the steering wheel a little bit. And everyone's just tiptoeing around a little bit as the spray really starts to get a lot worse out there. They are able to race in this, but oh, and Enzo Riche's gone wide again, and he has allowed Nano Lopez to get through. And now it is Enzo Riche who's dropped down to second on the final chicane there, letting him through at turn 16 into 17. And it looks like from that, Nano Lopez has managed to get himself into the lead in a Formula Renault 2.0. That is impressive work. All wide there again. That corner's catching a lot of the drivers out at the moment, but Nano Lopez managed to keep it on the tarmac, and Enzo Riche really starting to struggle out there. Walter Rijkaard there, going wide, going straight on rather into the pit lanes, and we're seeing another spinner there as well. I think that's 125. I think that might be Robert Siska. Yes, it is. And the 81-year-old struggling to get it going again, and can't quite get it into the right position. So hopefully he's not in the way of anyone on that start-finish straight, because he's beached right in the middle at the moment. So yellows obviously will be in that final sector. Nano Lopez then leads the way in a Formula Renault 2.0. Here's Walter Rijkaard getting it a bit wrong, or going into the pit lane rather. And then, of course, Robert Siska spinning round on the start-finish straight, coming in past the checkered flag gantry. And he has rejoined now at turn 17. So that's good to know. So it looks like Nano Lopez is enjoying the conditions out there, and I can hear the rain is hitting down on the commentary box as well. So they're not getting an easy go of it out there. And we've got another spinner, and that looks like car number 16 in the third sector. That's turn 12, and that is indeed apologies, that's Evan Moynier, who is joining us for this weekend and for Craft Racing, and unfortunately having a spin as well into turn 12. So Enzo Riche here starting to look like has he dropped behind? Did he drop behind Dylan Estra? He has. Apologies, I must have missed that happening. It looks like our pole sitter has now dropped down to third as well. Really not liking these conditions is Enzo Riche. It'd be interesting to see his thoughts on wet racing off the back of this, but so far not enjoying what is going on out there. The important thing is his closest title rivals, which is Frederic Boileau, is down in 8th, and Juan Francisco Soldevini is down in 6th. And as I say that is Juan Francisco Soldevini, who's now under pressure from Artur Agatur behind. Actually, no, he must have, apologies, Soldovini must have just got past Artur Agator into 5th place. And we will see that once they come past the timing beam on the start-finish straight. And this we are watching, which is Dylan Estra and Enzo Riche. So it looks like Nano Lopez is running away with this one a little bit. He's 5 seconds ahead. And Dylan Estra is looking to take 2nd place here. Enzo Riche, though, still picking up points for 3rd place, obviously. Not the win that he would have wanted, as we watched Nano Lopez in the Formula Renault 2.0. I would love to speak to this man, have a conversation with him, because, ooh, a little bit of a twitch there, heading over the chicane into turn 16 and 17. Tricky there, catching a lot of drivers out as well, because if you hit those curbs, you will spin. And there you go, you can see the lead there that Nano Lopez has. He hasn't won at all in an overall win. He's won in class, has Nano Lopez, but he only joined us at the beginning of Mugello and has absolutely, ooh, again, there we see Enzo Riche really struggling on the exit of that corner. And once again, just going wide. And still 7 minutes left of this race, and it feels like there's so much action going on. Soldovini setting a fastest middle sector. And this is 2nd place Dylan Estra, who's joining us from French Formula 4. So here's the replay. Oh, just that blue stuff is really catching Enzo Riche out. As soon as you get on it, you become a passenger. A bit like if you hit the curbs. So it's dropped back a couple of seconds from Dylan Estra. But again, at this point, though he's not going to get the points for the win, Nano Lopez hasn't done the whole championship, and nor has Dylan Estra. Dylan Estra is on debut, and Nano Lopez has only joined us from the beginning of Mugello. So it's not the worst thing in the world for championship points for Enzo Riche, who's still looking very twitchy out there, as that rain must be coming down even harder now. Certain parts of the track are clearly more treacherous than others. And they're just tiptoeing around. You can see that there is such a wet line on the track. So just under 6 minutes left to go. Dylan Estra's had everything thrown at him this weekend. He knocked off a championship contender off the track, got a 5-second time penalty for that one in the first race, but still managed to end up on the podium. Brilliant recovery drive from Dylan Estra. I wonder if we can speak to any of the drivers. We've got some yellows in sector 2. Now, what is that for? Is the question. Can't see anything on my timing screen as of yet. Alain Boucher's Artur Agator hasn't come through the 2nd sector. So I wonder if Artur Agator has had an issue somewhere. We'll have to wait and see. The yellows have been cleared now. We might not see exactly what happened there, but it looked like Artur Agator maybe had a bit of a spin out there. That's Frederic Boileau, who's sitting 2nd in the championship at the moment in car number 2. Not car number 2, my apologies. Frederic Boileau's in car number 4. And he's been chased down by one of our newbies, Didier Piard, who's currently sitting 8th at the moment. He's in a different, completely different category and championship. He's in the Formula Regional 17 inches. And this is Juan Francisco Soldovini looking to get past Auburn Robert Prince for track position in the same championship as well, the Formula Regional 13 inches. So spray's still pretty bad out there. Juan Francisco Soldovini thinking about it. into turn 5, but not able to do it there. This is Robert Siska, 81 years old. He had a little spin earlier on the start-finish straight, but he's back going and currently down in 11th. He used to... Oh, Juan Francisco Soldevini just nearly lost the rear end then, but managed to catch it before it spun off. And it's almost impossible to see these cars with the spray. I can't imagine what it's like to be one of the racing drivers. Oh, Juan Francisco Soldevini really struggling out there. I mean, they all are, but see this little twitch on the rear as he's trying to push. As the race track's starting to get wetter, it almost looks. And we've got more racing to go on this racetrack, and we have got a night race to go tonight in the endurance, in the prototype endurance as well. It's the European Endurance Prototype Cup will be taking place tonight, and that's Robert Siska just getting a bit in the way of Robert Auburn Prince and Juan Francisco Soldevini, but manages to get past with no issues. So yeah, up next after the Ultimate Formula Cup, which has a couple of minutes left on it, it's the it's the Legends Cars Cup. If you speak French, ooh, twitchy again from Soldevini. If you want to watch the Legends Cup and you speak French, head over to our YouTube channel and you can watch that one. And then we've got the Ultimate GT Sprint, the final race of the weekend for the Ultimate GT Sprint Cup, and then the European Endurance Prototype Cup. And that is a 4-hour race that's taking us into the evening. However, it looks quite dark out there already today, so I think the evening is going to come quite quickly. That race gets underway at around, well, we'll be on air from around 5:15. So join us for that one. We've got some amazing drivers getting involved in that one as well. So Nano Lopez then looking to take his first win in the Ultimate Formula Cup overall. He's won in class, but he's never won overall. Ooh, that's a corner again, catching everybody out. But managed to keep it on though. And he will head round for the final few laps. And he's got an incredibly commanding lead at the moment of 13 seconds, nearly 14 seconds over Dylan Estra. And Enzo Richer, the man that started on pole position, will have to settle for 3rd place after all this. Juan Francisco Soldevini still getting frustrated by Auburn Robert Prince here. Not able to get up to 4th place. He needs all the points he can at the moment because he hasn't scored incredibly well this weekend. Scored nothing in the first race. And then I think he finished around 6th or 7th in so yellow flags at turn 13. I think that's for oh well, it says car 22, but we don't have a car 22, so that might be significantly impossible to do. Maybe it's car number 23, but anyway, whoever it is, they're not spending any more. So a couple of minutes, seconds left on the clock. And this is Juan Francisco Soldevini. And we are now on the final lap. And Nano Lopez is about to take his first win in the Ultimate Formula Cup. And it's an impressive performance, you have to say, from Nano Lopez. Coming across the final chicane here and takes the checkered flag, and it is Nano Lopez in a Formula Renault 2.0. He's the fastest man out there. He has won in the rain in such tricky conditions. Nano Lopez, take a bow. That was quite a performance. He wins by over 1 lap. As you can see there, Dylan Estra coming across the line as well. 20 seconds was the lead from Nano Lopez. A really impressive performance. And oh dear, Auburn Robert Prince there just spinning on the final corner of the track, unfortunately. It looks like Juan Francisco Soldevini would have crossed the line before him, and I can't quite see until he crosses the line. It should be 5th still. Yes, he is. So Nano Lopez then taking his first win. And the points now in the 13 inches remains pretty similar, but obviously Soldovini has scored some points. So here's just a replay now of Auburn Robert Prince losing it on his own into the final, well, the exit of turn 17. So where are we at with the points? Well, Enzo Richer is now on 278.5 points. We think, I mean, I'm doing maths as we are on air. He's got a 44.5 lead over Frederick Boileau, who is on 234 points, and it's Juan Francisco Soldovini then who is on 230. So he's got quite a significant lead now of 44.5 points. And coming into this race weekend, you have to remember he only had 3.5 between him and Juan Francisco Soldovini. Don't lose it now, Nano Lopez. You've won. Don't smash it. So there we go. TS Corsa's Nano Lopez on his second race weekend for the Ultimate Formula Cup takes a win. Overall win, he's won in class, and this is the overall win. So impressive stuff from Nano Lopez. So he'll pull into the pit lane. And we'll see how much the celebrations mean to him as he gets out his Formula Renault 2.0 car. Still blowing my mind that he's able to win in that, and he's incredibly pleased. It's an impressive performance from Nano Lopez. And he gets congratulations from his TS Corsa team as well. And he's definitely one to be watching out for at the moment is Nano Lopez. I can see Chris is standing by looking to speak to Nano and getting a little bit of a perspective on what exactly went on out there and how he's managed to beat all the Formula Regional cars with his Formula Renault, because that is quite an impressive performance, it has to be said. So Nano Lopez takes the win here at Magny-Cours for the final race of the season in the Ultimate Formula Cup. And I think it's time to head down and hear from our race winner. He's standing by alongside Chris Stevens. Let's hear from Nano Lopez.
Nano Lopez, to do what you've just done, winning by quite a comfortable margin in a Formula Renault 2-litre car. I have one question for you. How?
Yeah, on Thursday it rained, so yeah, we knew we were fast. But yeah, it was obviously a very hard condition to lap, no? So yeah, to be honest, I'm very happy for me, for the team, for everything, because they gave me a fantastic car. So yeah, it's just the end of a weekend that started very good and yeah, ended perfectly, you know? So yeah, I'm very happy.
You've been at the top of the class since you arrived with us one race ago. Now an overall win on top of it. Now, what does the future hold for Nano Lopez?
You know, our plan is to do the next year, all the year with Freca. Yeah, and try obviously to win the championship. That's what everyone wants. But yeah, that's our main plan for next year. So yeah.
Another Argentinian talent coming up through the ranks, yeah?
Yeah. There are a lot of Argentinians who are now on Formula and other categories, and for example, you know, Nico Barone, who was with me in Mugello. So yeah, it's obviously thanks to him and to Jose that everything is possible now. So yeah.
Huge congratulations to you. Absolutely remarkable feat.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up all the action from here in Magny-Cours for the Ultimate Formula Cup. We have one round remaining to decide the championship between Enzo Richer and Juan Francisco Soldovini. So join us in a few weeks' time at Paul Ricard.
So it is Nano Lopez that takes the win here. Dylan Estra second, Enzo Richer third, Juan Francisco Soldovini is fourth, and Auburn Robert Prince is fifth. And Mounier is 6th and Piardin, his debut is 7th. And Frédéric Boileau rounds up the top 8. Alain Boucher 9th. Arthur Agator 10th. Siska 11th. Rijkaard was 12th. 13th with Lima. Thierry Malon was 14th. And in 15th, unfortunately, was Ziffel. So, like Chris said, do make sure you join us in a couple of weeks' time for the championship decider in the Ultimate Formula Cup. We will be back on the first weekend of November. So do make sure you join us then. And we will be at Paul Ricard for more action from the Ultimate Formula Cup. It will be between Enzo Richer and Juan Francisco Soldovini. Who will come out champion? Make sure you join us then.
Être un bon traiteur, c'est être intransigeant sur la qualité. On ne fait du bon qu'avec le meilleur. C'est être impitoyable sur les recettes. Quand c'est bon, il n'y a rien à ajouter, rien à enlever. C'est être irréprochable sur le goût. Il faut prendre du plaisir pour en donner. Voilà, pour être un bon traiteur, il faut être intraitable.
Parfaitement intraitable.